What is going on, nation? It's your boy Steton, bringing you this week's team builder for the PWC. We are the Louisville Littons, and we are going up against the Barcelona Garchomps this week. Since I didn't do like a draft recap for this league or anything, and we're already in the semifinals, I'm just going to show you my team, which is right here, and the team going against, which is Carlos, which is right here. So before we get into our physical build, I'm going to go over a little bit of what I'm expecting from him. I'm probably expecting, if he's bringing Megalop, he's bringing Landers Therian, he's bringing Greninja, and he's bringing Kieran Black. Those are four that I know he is going to bring. Megalop will probably be a sub-toxic set or something along those lines, maybe a power-up punch. But Substitute will be there because the last time we battled, I showed my hard check in Uxie to him. So he's going to be fearing that. So I think he's going to try to build around that. Landers T is probably going to be a Scarf set or a Supersonic Sky Strike set to try to take advantage of Uxie or to take advantage of U-turn momentum. I have no idea what Kyurem's going to be honest, but I know it's going to come because my team is very Kyurem weak. Outrage punches holes through my team, so that could be an issue. And lastly, Greninja is probably going to be Specs. Specs Modest, or not Modest, excuse me. Specs Timid. Timid raises the speed. Because if he runs Modest, Gengar will outspeed him and take him out. In addition to that, I see a Selgor having a lot of potential incoming because Hazard Stack, I don't really have the best hazard removal. It's just Mega Latias and Defog. So I could see that. Plus Final Gambit turn 1 could just literally kill anything on my team except Gengar. Rotom Heat, if it comes, it's going to be Scarfed, no doubt about it. Because I have a lot of hard checks to it, and Volt switching around could help him out a lot. I don't see Malamar coming. I don't see Whimsicott coming. I don't see Nihilego coming. Bronzong will probably be heat-proof, max HP, either maybe defensive to try to check Mind Shower a little bit better, but it's definitely going to be heat-proof because, again, I have no ground stab, so he doesn't have to worry about having Levitate. Anyway, that's kind of what I'm expecting, so let's go into my team build real quick. First off, I have Blue, the Manaphy. It's a pretty standard Tail Glow set. I have enough speed to outspeed a timid Kieran Black, enough special attack to knock out pretty much anything I need after I get to +3, and with like chip damage from rocks and whatnot. I'm holding the Wakan Berry for in case Kieran Black comes in and wants to go for a Fusion Bolt on me. That way I can eat that up and have no worries. Manaphy is just great for punching holes in teams and helping with my late game sweepers, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Next up, I have Mega Latias, which can come in on things like Rotom Heat, can set up on... I don't see Whimsicott coming. Whimsicott would be the only issue. If I see Whimsicott, I'm going to be a little bit hesitant to set up Calm Minds, just because of Prankster Encore. But I don't see Whimsicott coming, though, because I have Persian Alolan, which is unaffected by any Prankster moves. But I'm running Dragon Pulse Psyshock. It has good coverage for its entire team, with the exception of Bronzong. Bronzong pretty much hard walls this thing, especially if it's running Toxic. But yeah, that's my Mega Latias at +1 Spadef. Timid Choice Specs Greninja doesn't do 50%, so I can recover on that and make sure I can take it out with the Dragon Pulse then. Coming up next, his team is very fighting weak. It has 2 Intimidators, Hitmontop, and Landers Therian. The last time we played, I hit his Landers Therian on the switch-in with a Hidden Power Ice and pretty much knocked it out right off the bat. So I don't think he's going to be switching in, but I'm still going to run Hidden Power Ice just in case. He'll probably bring Hitmontop, now that I'm thinking about it, as a secondary intimidation user, so that way he doesn't have to risk his Landers, because Landers puts in a lot of work against my team as well. But his fighting resists, going back to his team, consist of Whimsicott and Whimsicott. All right, cool. Also Landers Therian, but again, like I said, he's not going to be bringing that for anything. So I'm running Drain Punch, High Jump Kick, Regenerator. A lot of teams this season have been running Protect against me for High Jump Kick, so that's why I'm running Regenerator instead of Reckless. That way I can switch out into a respective check and get my 30% of my 50% back. Moving on, I have Vision, my Uxie. I don't necessarily think this is the best bring because it's not going to end up. I don't think it's going to end up doing too much. But I'm bringing Arrest Chesto berry set in case Megalop somehow breaks through a lot of my team or something gets a little bit out of hand. It's also probably my best way of getting up rocks. I have Heatran down here, but I don't think I have the coverage slot available to run Stealth Rocks on it. So this is my best way of getting up rocks. Yeah, it's pretty much here to wall Megalopony as best as it can. Get some U-turn pressure or momentum, maybe, but that's probably not going to happen. Next up, we have a dual choice scarf this week. We have Chance the Gengar, running Shadow Ball, Sludge Wave, Psychic, and Destiny Bond. I was debating between Destiny Bond and Icy Wind, but ultimately I figured Destiny Bond could be really useful if I end up getting a little bit low, and then I can bring it in and just bring something down with me. Shadow Ball, Sludge Wave, Psychic is coverage to hit his entire team. Obviously, he has Bronzong, which can come in on Sludge Wave, but once that thing's gone, his Sludge Wave switch in is Landorus Therian, and that's still probably going to take about 40%. So that's my Gengar. I see Gengar putting in a fair amount of work, as well as Mineshaw. Those are pretty much my two ways of winning this game, just High Jump Kick spam or Drain Punch spam, depending. And Shadow Ball spam. Psychic is there in case Megalopony decides to get cheeky and stay in. I can take it out with Psychic. Focus Blast is probably a better bring because it will one-shot Kieran Black and Lopunny. But I don't want to risk the miss, so I'm just going to stick to Psychic. And lastly, I have Vesuvius, the Heatran, running Flash Cannon, Lava Plume, Gracium Z, Solar Beam, and Ancient Power. Ancient Power is to hit a Rotom Heat in case he brings it, because otherwise you can see my coverage would do nothing for Rotom Heat, and that would be where my Stealth Rock would have been. But I decided that Ancient Power was probably more important in case Rotom Heat is there, because I'm not running Stone Edge on my Mineshaw either, so that could maybe be an issue. So it's just a secondary check. I obviously have Manaphy as well, but if he's Choice Scarfed and he's Volt switching around, like I mentioned, he probably would be. Manaphy obviously won't be hitting it. My spread is to live Hydro Pump from a Specs Timid Greninja, and then hopefully take it out with a Gracium Z Solar Beam. If I lead with this and he leads with Greninja, I'm hoping he gets really, really overzealous and goes for a Hydro Pump turn 1 kill. Or Dark Pulse trying to catch something switching in. I live it and I just knock out Greninja, which is a huge threat to my team right off the bat. But yeah, that's my team. Hopefully everything goes well and we can pick up a W and then head to the finals. But until then, peace.